Meeting is live.
Yeah, it's live. Oh, it's live. I don't know if anyone can see me. It's saying it's not accepted. Okay. I don't even know if we're live. Oh, we're live. We're live. We're live. Okay, guys, we're really struggling because there's this weird music playing on my laptop, and it's not hold music. Hey, I need Patrick on the line. I have no idea what this music is coming from. Is it iTunes? Yeah, but even if they can't hear it, this is gonna really disturb me. It's like really sad music in the background. Where is that coming from? Can you hear that music? Can you guys hear this weird music?
I can hear it.
I think it's over.
Yeah, it's really loud.
Oh my God, like where is it coming from? What is this music? In one of my tabs. Yeah. Oh, what is this? Is this Spotify? What is this? So this is like Facebook ads training. Welcome, everybody. I really don't know how to turn this on. Oh, this is stock music. What is this? This is so random. Let me see comments. It's not Spotify. Steve, stop it. I'm freaking out right now. This was like super organized, and then there's this random music. Okay, I'm just looking through tabs, guys, so.
Oh, thank you.
What is this?
So this is to your webinar.
This is me.
Yeah.
Speaking.
It's only been up 2 days too, so it hasn't been up a long time.
No, I have to keep them open.
Yeah, we'll generally take a couple.
This is like training video of me. So where's that coming from?
To optimize. Mm-hmm. For it to fully optimize will take about a week now. Okay.
Dion! Where's this music coming from on my laptop? I'm live right now.
Share screen thing, or what were you meaning?
That's Immunet. Oh my God. Sorry, guys.
What's up?
My computer is playing like a training video while I'm live.
Oh, you gotta find
I
it.
don't
Is
know
there
where
like a
it's
little
coming
speaker on here?
I don't know. This is Dion, everyone.
You had going before, because I remember you had something doing quite well, right?
My phone's not plugged in. This is like the stupidest Facebook ads training.
This is
live. Oh shoot, it's not a tab.
So
what's this Facebook?
Be careful which tab. This is Immunet's training. Maybe it's going.
Is this being run out of Stealth Seminar, or is this just lead pages? It's Stealth. Okay. So what we have to be really careful with Stealth is that these numbers never match up with Stealth.
Command Option Escape. Okay, wait. Command. Let me do this. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. Escape. Oh, iTunes. Force quit.
You know what? Do you know what? Okay.
What?
Can you kill the whole thing and still leave Facebook? Just kill it.
Well, I can't. Although, did that stop it? It was iTunes. Okay.
Bye, Kat.
Bye, Dion. Thank you, Michael. Oh my goodness. I'm feeling slightly frazzled now. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. All right. So I've got my tab here. It's Megan. Megan's probably like, oh gosh, damage control. All right, guys, sorry about that. A bit of a slow start this morning. Let me log out of Facebook quickly because I'm going to be taking you into, if I do that, it's going to, man, I'm so scared to touch anything right now. I'm going to do that in a new browser. I'm going to be taking you into ad accounts today, and I'm going to be showing you some hands-on training. Thank you for bearing with me, guys. It's so fun slide at the beginning of my presentation going, I don't know IT for the life of me, so please bear with me. I didn't expect it to happen this fast. So how is everyone going? I'm going to wait for a few more people to come on. I'm just getting, I'm logging out of this Facebook account, and I'm going to log into an ad account because I'm going to be showing you some stuff. So I can see your comments here, and I'm looking over here. Makes sense. Makes sense. This is a new thing I'm trying out as well, guys, where I'm broadcasting from my laptop to a Facebook group on a live, which is really, really cool because I always hated webinars. I hate email sequences, and I hate the fact that when you're doing a training or a webinar, you have to send out like a million emails ahead of time to remind people to attend, because I really hate emails, to be honest. So I don't know, it's just me, and yeah. So this is really cool, doing it live. Cool. Blue Jeans, yeah. So I'm using this new thing called Blue Jeans, and it's really cool. You can live stream right into a Facebook group. Okay, whew. Feeling frazzled after that. That was random. You guys got a bit of music, a little bit of hold music going on. Fun times. Okay, so I'm just pulling up a campaign thing that I'm going to show you guys how we're going to audit this thing in live and troubleshoot it. Boom, there it is. Okay, so let me pull up this thing. Bit of a disclaimer, guys, and I've got this here. Let me share screen. Okay, I'm going to share this screen, and then I'm going to do a disclaimer in that I've never used this program before. Clearly, I'm not the best person with IT. So thank you for bearing with me. If there are any other hiccups, well, you've been warned, right? Okay, so let me share this screen and hope to God I don't break anything in the process. And let me, can you guys see that? Oh, there's a lag, eh? Okay. Yay, cool. Nice. How awesome is this, guys? And you guys can hear me? Nice. Awesome. Hey, this is such a cool thing. So this is I forget the name of it. It's something called Blue something. Anyways, it's a piece of software that allows you to show presentations as a live on a Facebook group. So I know there's a little bit of a lag, but we're going to make this happen. We'll get through it. All right. So I'm going to, okay, cool. Sounds good. So basically today, guys, what we're going to be looking at is free training around building your expertise and a way to really, really get your head around Facebook, especially the algorithm. If you build this understanding of this, you're going to be able to leverage your client campaign so much better and get really good results for your clients. And then the big churn rate, the big C word. I was going to say C word, but some people think of something else when you say that. So the big churn word, something that we all dread as Facebook marketers. And I think it's a little bit hush hush in our industry, right? It's, you lose face if you admit that you have churn, client churn, right? You lose face because people think maybe you're not, or you're thinking maybe you're not as good a Facebook marketer as you should be. because of that, you don't really know what normal churn rates are, or if you're just bleeding clients. And if you are bleeding clients, why are you bleeding clients, right? It's a little bit of a taboo thing, kind of like asking women for their age. People don't really talk about it that much, but it happens. So we're going to talk about that today, and I'm going to show you how to really, really reduce that churn rate. And actually, I'm saying with 3 simple things, and there's actually 3 simple things in 3 simple things. So I'm going to show you 3 simple things across your business, and then I'm going to show you 3 things across the Facebook algorithm as well. Once you get these things in place, bam, you're in the money. All right, cool. So thank you, Ken. So everyone can hear me. Hey, we've got a couple OGs, original gangsters, academy students. Hands up if we have worked together. Say hi if we've worked together in some capacity, or if we've met. How long is this training for? About an hour mark. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's kick it in. I think there's a big lag, so people cannot hear me. There's my disclaimer. So guys, I've never attempted this software and this live before in a Facebook group. So far, everything looks to be working okay. But if anything hiccups, please bear with me. This is my first time using this software as a Facebook Live in a group. Also, you may notice in this training today, I got a little bit creative. I actually suck with creative, but I got a little bit creative here, and you may notice a recurring theme. This is subliminal messaging at its finest. We just came back from Hawaii, which was freaking awesome. Everyone got this USB stick of everything they needed to build a really successful agency, the processes, the training, the systems, the funnels, all of it. It was awesome. And we're just about to announce our next event. And if this is something, if you want to hang out with your people, if you want to up level, yeah, I changed the themes on this presentation for subliminal messaging. Like, hey, you need to be at the next one, buddy, if you want to be in this game. So, and another disclaimer, there's going to be a few disclaimers in this training. Who's excited? Who's ready to go? Cool. Andy, woo woo! Andy was in Hawaii. What? Still on a high from Hawaii. Cool. So guys, today's training, just so I don't waste any one of your time, I know I really respect your time, first of all, because first and foremost, I know exactly what you guys are going through. I am oftentimes there myself, and I have definitely been there, done that. I know how busy it is being, especially in the freelancing stage, trying to juggle clients, trying to stay on top of Facebook, which is constantly changing. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's been a little bit buggy lately. There's massive rollouts happening. This is Facebook, right? So trying to stay on top of all of that and run your business and make your clients happy is really, really intense. So I really, really respect your time, and I appreciate your time. So without wasting your time, I just want to make it very clear. The training today is for Facebook freelancers that are brand new or that have years of experience. It's also for agency owners. Now, it's for people that are either feeling a little bit like they're not really sure or confident with Facebook ads, and also really, really unsure of, are they doing the right stuff for their clients? Why are they losing their clients? What is going on here? So maybe this sounds like you. I want to see a yes if you can relate to any of these, right, guys? So are you struggling to retain those clients? And honestly, you're always ending up, or it seems like everyone else has these awesome clients, these awesome 20K, 10K, 5K clients, and they're crushing results for them. And all you seem to attract are these rotten apples, is what we're calling them. They're not rotten apples, they're clients, but you onboard them, and literally within a couple days or 6 days, you're thinking to yourself, what the hell did I just do? This person is emailing you 25 times a day. They're changing everything on you. Maybe they started out with one story and now they want you to roll out like a brand new landing page, and they're expecting you to do their website, and they may even expect you to take their sales calls from them. I have heard that happen. Give a shout out if that has happened for you. So yeah, so really, really common situation where you just end up with clients where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to do this business anymore because these clients are driving me nuts. Is it the client or is it you? Which one is it? We shall see. So are you rolling campaigns out, hoping, like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall and you're hoping something's going to stick? You have some ideas of the funnels, you have some ideas of what people are doing, and you've done your research, and you're in the ad hacks group and you're checking things out. But really, it kind of feels like you're just hoping to God that when you launch a campaign, 24 hours in, something happens, right? Because you have no idea how it actually works behind the scenes. And so because of that, you actually have no idea how to leverage that to your advantage or how to control it. So this is a really common situation. If that's you, this is okay. You're allowed to say, yes, this is a safe place for us right now. There's no clients on this training. If you're a client, this is not for you, FYI. Are you tired of feeling like you're on this roller coaster ride? So maybe your campaigns did really, really well. Maybe 2 weeks they were crushing it. Your client was really happy. And then it just nosedived. And you don't know why. And for the life of you, you cannot control it. You're in that ad account changing things all the time. It's getting worse. And the next thing you know, you end up with this Frankenstein of a campaign that's got like ad sets on layered placements and audiences, and it's this like duct taped monster that's like costing 3 times the CPA your client initially wanted to, and you're freaking out and you can't stop touching it though. Right? So are you on this roller coaster ride? And here's the worst part. When you were on a high with the client, when you were crushing results, you forgot to ask them for a case study. You were like, oh, I'll do it next month. Oh shit. And then things take a nosedive and there goes your case study. Maybe even some of you, a lot of you in here are doing these things where you start off free for clients, like these free trial things. So you started off like that and you're stuffed. You did free work. You don't even have a case study at the end of the day, right? So, yep. Nice. Are you struggling with imposter syndrome? Here's a secret. Like even the gurus out there have this as well, right? So one of the joys of working with Facebook is that it changes all the time. It's constantly changing. If you're not staying on top of it, really, you're out in the dark pretty fast. This is one of the reasons I love to teach, because teaching in itself forces me to stay on top of things. It really forces me to understand what's happening out there. So in a way, it's almost a selfish thing where it helps me and my own education in the industry. So if this sounds like any of you, this is the right place. We're going to cover all of this. I'm going to show you the 3 things that need to go across your business, and then the 3 things in terms of the Facebook algorithm. So how would it feel, guys, if you could retain those clients and have testimonials like flooding out of your ass? Imagine, so cool, right? If you knew how to leverage Facebook to your advantage, imagine having the confidence of Tom. For those of you that know Tom, imagine having that confidence, right? How good would that feel? Feeling confident. And if you were able to actually build this for a business of yourself, meaning, so to have a business, you need to have more revenue than expenses, right? Well, to have a successful business, you need to have more revenue than expenses coming out, basic economics. If you're losing clients all the time and you're not bringing in new clients, that is a bleeding neck, right? That's not going to be a great situation for you down the track. So imagine what it would feel like to retain those clients, retainer clients. How cool would that be, right? And happy clients. What an accurate soul-crushing diagnosis. Yep. So guys, I'm not going to dwell too long on this intro because I know everyone's hungry to kick in. Hopefully, most of you guys know me. I know I can see a couple familiar faces. Jody, what's up? Hawaii, Jody, Steve. And for those of you that don't know me, I am Kat, and I am the founder of 8 Loop Social. We're a Facebook ads agency. We're based out of Auckland, New Zealand, but we work with mostly international clients, actually. We've got some brands and entrepreneurs, all sorts of people on there. I've been featured in Business Rockstars, a couple publications, Entrepreneur, and was a speaker at the social media conference. So just putting this out there for those of you that don't know me and are going, who is this random girl with really shitty hair that didn't brush her hair this morning and had some random elevator music at the beginning of this training? I'm Kat. Woo! I suck at IT. That's me. Okay. So the thing that I'm most proud of, guys, so what I was trying to make a point of with, showing the publications was that you're in good hands, right? First and foremost. But the thing that I'm most proud of in everything that I've done so far in business is the teams that I've been able to be a part of and also build. It's been one of the coolest things ever. I swear to God, we have the coolest teams on the planet. So on the right-hand side is the agency team, and that was Dion. Right on the back left, that was helping us to figure out how iTunes was crashing our training. And then on the left-hand photo, that is part of the Academy team. So that was in Hawaii recently. And as you can see, we're a bunch of nutballs. So I'm not going to dwell too much on this. You guys hopefully already know who I am. But what I'm hoping to instill in those of you that do not know me already is that I know what you're going through. I actually run an agency. I've been there. I've done that. I work with clients. I work with a team. So I feel you. I feel you. I know what you're going through. All right, guys. So we'll move on. No more of this without further ado. So also what I wanted to get a point across was I have also spent thousands and thousands. I'm not exaggerating when I say it's probably up in the hundreds of thousands right now because that's how much our ad account has clocked. And I've lost more clients myself than I actually have fingers on my hands. Believe it or not, right? So there we go. The ugly churn word out in the open. It happened. I've lost a lot of clients. Our agency has lost a lot of clients. And for the longest time, I was trying to figure this out myself. And even after years of doing this, guys, what may surprise you the most is that I still felt like I was just kind of in the dark trying to fumble around, figure out Facebook ads. I was like, yeah, I've worked with a lot of clients. We got some great case studies, but it still felt like really hit and miss. It felt like we'd get some case studies, really good results for some clients, and then some, it was just like, no, computer says no, and why? I don't know why. So it was really, up until like I spent almost 3 years at that stage where I really was kind of like, yeah, I've been doing this for a while. I've had a lot of clients, but honestly, I don't even, my disclaimer was always like, we don't control Facebook and it's like, it does its own thing. It really felt like that. It felt like I was dealing with a temperamental teenager that you sort of had to tiptoe around, and sometimes it would do what you wanted it to do and sometimes it wouldn't. So this training today is to help you bypass this hundreds of thousands of dollars and years. I don't think my hair looks shitty. Thank you. So guys, I'm going to put a question back onto you. I'm going to have to wait here for a second because of the lag, but what do you guys think leads to client churn? So what do you think is the cause of client churn in your agency? I want to see some not questions, but some comments. So what do you guys think leads to churn, losing clients? What are the things that result in losing clients? Lack of patience, qualifying, setting expectations, unreasonable results, expectations. Yeah. No clear ROI. So a lot of you guys are saying expectations, not qualifying clients, setting wrong expectations. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Look at how many you guys are selling are saying unrealistic expectations. Crazy, eh? Yeah, so there's really three things that lead to client churn rate. And so what we're going to cover today is I'm briefly going to take you these three, and then in the implementation side, I'm going to show you how to crush that implementation with the three things in the algorithm that you need to know about. So, and also some really cool hacks to troubleshooting this part. So the churn burn, that's me trying to get cute here. So churn really happens for three reasons, guys. The first one is your expectations, and that also is how you onboard the client. So auditing that client and ensuring that you're only onboarding clients that are going to be a good fit for you and your business. The second one is time. Now, I'm going to cover that one in a minute because that one may surprise you, but this is one of the biggest culprits for churn burn. And then the third one is obviously implementation. You launch campaigns, and no matter what you seem to try, you're not getting results for your clients. So I'm going to show you today the three things that you can do in there to instantly solidify your expertise and gain such a better understanding of how to get those results for your clients. Sounds good? All right. So weeding out the troublemakers, expectations, pricing yourself, time, understanding the algo. Let's go through them. Hands up if you've ever worked with a client, you sent lots and lots and lots and lots of leads their way. Maybe they were a chiropractor, maybe they were a dentist, whatever it was, and they never followed them up. Hands up if you've ever been in that situation. I have this really frustrated image here on this screen because it is so frustrating. You've crushed it for them. Your campaign is getting amazing results and the client completely drops the ball. Yeah? They don't follow up the leads, or they follow them up 2 weeks later. All the leads have gone cold. And guess what happens? If you guys are brand new to Facebook ads and you've never worked with client, pay close attention so you can avoid this churn burn. Guess what happens? They blame you, or they blame Facebook, and they say Facebook is no good. They say, it's not really for my business. Yeah? So you could even be the best Facebook marketer and experience churn burn. How crazy is that? How mad is that? Setting expectations and also making sure you properly screen the client, right? Auditing the client is really, really, really important. One of the biggest reasons why you have churn burn is you set the wrong expectations. So one of the things that we do in the agency, and part of the things that we teach in the academy as well, is when we set expectations, a big part of that is auditing that account before you onboard them into your business. Do you guys do this, by the way? It's really, really important. Yeah. So some of the things that you want to check is, do they have product to market validation? Have they sold their product before? Is this a brand new thing that has never, ever been done out in the marketplace before? If it is, that's a little bit riskier for you, right? And that's okay. It doesn't mean it can't be a successful campaign. What it means is that when you onboard that client, you clearly need to set the expectation, hey, buddy, this is something that has never been done before. I'm going to do everything I can to make this work for you, but please understand that we have a product that hasn't been validated to the market here. So your expectations need to be that everything we do from here on out, don't expect results. Expect data, right? Expect data that we can then base decisions off of. And that takes the pressure off of you. Funnel health checks. So you will sometimes speak to clients and they will tell you, hey, look, I built this funnel myself, and it's going, first they go to a webinar, and then they subscribe to a 5-day challenge. And then after the 5-day challenge, they're going to get a 7-part email sequence. And then in the email sequence, they're getting an invitation to a live event. And then at the live event, that's where we're pitching a $200 product. And they've never run someone through that funnel before. And they think it's like, they literally think it's the bee's knees. Like, they think it's the greatest shit ever, right? So very risky for you understanding the health of that funnel. So what I'm going to do for you guys as well is I'm going to escape out of here for a minute. Oh boy, this is about to get risky. Risky business. Risky business. Where do I pull this up? And I'm going to share this with you guys. Well, how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. There we go. Okay. There I am. So this is the audit sheet. And I'm going to share that in the comments with you guys. And let me go back to... So feel free to open this, guys, but this is some of the stuff I'm walking you through right now. Hopefully you guys are, yeah, cool. 90 presentation, an early 90s presentation. Thank you, Steve. All right, so so feel free to swipe that, guys. Like, take that and run through that with your clients when you're onboarding them. So things that you want to look out for is the health of their funnel. Have they actually sent cold traffic through that funnel? A lot of people will tell you, I have a validated funnel, I did this and this. And then when you actually talk to them, you may find out, for example, I recently had a Q&A about this. Someone was saying this coach has a great funnel. They have been using summits, so online summits, to build their email lists and to sell their products, which is great. And they were doing great results and everything is fine. Yeah, but a summit, how do people get audience? Like, how do people get traffic from summits? Summits get traffic by the presenters sharing stuff to their audiences. So in many ways, the audience is not really a cold audience. It's a warm audience, right? It's referral based. It's almost like JV traffic. It's very different to a cold audience. So picking things up like that and fully understanding, did you actually send a cold person through this funnel? Have we validated this funnel with someone that has never heard of you before? Would it work? Because that's what essentially you're trying to do with Facebook, right? So you may get a lot of clients that come to you and, yes, I've sent traffic and I've done this. And when you ask them, well, actually, they had 90% close rates with their sales calls because the calls, they were referrals. They were word of mouth referrals. So yes, obviously your close rate is going to be 90%. Picking that up is so important, because then what you can tell the client is, ooh, hold on a second there, buddy. I understand that you were closing at 60 or 90% of your sales calls. However, Facebook ad traffic is not going to behave this way. This is cold traffic. Your close rate is going to be 10% or 20% or whatever it is, right? If you don't tell the client that, guess what's going to happen? If you don't set that expectation, guess what happens? The client is going to get on phone calls. They're going to get on like 10, 20 phone calls, and they're going to go, your traffic, the leads you're sending me is shit. There's something wrong with your campaigns. The leads you're sending me are crap. Fix it. When in reality, they're only supposed to close 2 clients out of 20 anyways, right? Not 10. So now you're stuffed because you kind of look like you're making excuses if you turn around and go, oh, well, you're only going to close 10% of Facebook traffic. It makes you look like you're making excuses, like it's a cop-out, right? So setting those expectations from the get-go, so important. Can you guys see that? Can you see how this leads to one of the biggest reasons for churn in your agency, in your business as a freelancer, whatever it is? So another thing you want to look at is the desired results and the expectations. So one of the things that we have taken a stance on at the agency ourselves, and it's different for everyone, but for example, if a client comes to you and they want to make $2,000 a month, there's a problem here. They're not going to pay you $1,000 management fee, right? They're not going to pay you 50% of their revenue on management, and that excludes the advertising. So you really, really need to figure out in the early stages, like, what are they actually expecting out of this? And are those expectations even realistic? Right? Making sure you're onboarding people that want scale, that want growth, that want results, because that's when you get yourself in a great situation. Like setting expectations with clients so that when you first onboard, they understand the first month or maybe the first 2 months. Don't expect anything. Expect that we're trying to validate Facebook ads for your business. So we're going to spend money. And as Tom likes to say, we're getting data. We're buying data with that so that you can see how to actually really successfully leverage this platform. So do they have a funnel? Do they have the back end abilities to service those leads or those sales that you're sending their way? What expectations do they have? So what is their desired CPA that they want? And also checking the user experience is really, really important as well. So what is the flow of that user experience as well? Have they validated that funnel as well? Now check their Facebook ad account. Check it. It's so important. Or they blame Facebook and they say Facebook is no good. They say, it's not really for my business. Yeah. So you could even be the best Facebook marketer and experience churn burn. How crazy is that? How mad is that? Setting expectations and also making sure you properly screen the client, right? Auditing the client is really, really, really important. One of the biggest reasons why you have churn burn is you set the wrong expectations. So one of the things that we do in the agency, and part of the things that we teach in the academy as well, is when we set expectations, a big part of that is auditing that account before you onboard them into your business. Do you guys do this, by the way? It's really, really important. Yeah. So some of the things that you want to check is, do they have product to market validation? Have they sold their product before? Is this a brand new thing that has never, ever been done out in the marketplace before? If it is, that's a little bit riskier for you, right? And that's okay. It doesn't mean it can't be a successful campaign. What it means is that when you onboard that client, you clearly need to set the expectation. Hey, buddy, this is something that has never been done before. I'm going to do everything I can to make this work for you, but please understand that we have a product that hasn't been validated to the market here. So your expectations need to be that everything we do from here on out, don't expect results. Expect data, right? Expect data that we can then base decisions off of. And that takes the pressure off of you. Funnel health checks. So you will sometimes speak to clients and they will tell you, hey, look, I built this funnel myself, and it's going, first they go to a webinar and then they subscribe to a 5-day challenge. And then after the 5-day challenge, they're going to get a 7-part email sequence. And then in the email sequence, they're getting an invitation to a live event. And then at the live event, that's where we're pitching a $200 product. And they've never run someone through that funnel before. And they think it's like, they literally think it's the bee's knees. Like, they think it's the greatest shit ever, right? So very risky for you understanding the health of that funnel. So what I'm going to do for you guys as well is I'm going to escape out of here for a minute. Oh boy, this is about to get risky. Risky business. Risky business. Where do I pull this up? And I'm going to share this you guys. Well, how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. There we go. Okay. There I am. So this is the audit sheet. And I'm going to share that in the comments with you guys. And let me go back to... So feel free to open this, guys, but this is some of the stuff I'm walking you through right now. Hopefully you guys are, yeah, cool. 90 presentation, an early 90s presentation. Thank you, Steve. All right, so so feel free to swipe that, guys. Like, take that and run through that with your clients when you're onboarding them. So things that you want to look out for is the health of their funnel. Have they actually sent cold traffic through that funnel? A lot of people will tell you, I have a validated funnel, I did this and this. And then when you actually talk to them, you may find out, for example, I recently had a Q&A about this. Someone was saying this coach has a great funnel. They have been using summits, so online summits, to build their email lists and to sell their products, which is great. And they were doing great results and everything is fine. Yeah, but a summit, how do people get audience? Like, how do people get traffic from summits? Summits get traffic by the presenters sharing stuff to their audiences. So in many ways, the audience is not really a cold audience. It's a warm audience, right? It's referral based. It's almost like JV traffic. It's very different to a cold audience. So picking things up like that and fully understanding, did you actually send a cold person through this funnel? Have we validated this funnel with someone that has never heard of you before? Would it work? Because that's what essentially you're trying to do with Facebook, right? So you may get a lot of clients that come to you and, yes, I've sent traffic and I've done this. And when you ask them, well, actually, they had 90% close rates with their sales calls because the calls, they were referrals. They were word of mouth referrals. So yes, obviously your close rate is going to be 90%. Picking that up is so important, because then what you can tell the client is, ooh, hold on a second there, buddy. I understand that you were closing at 60 or 90% of your sales calls. However, Facebook ad traffic is not going to behave this way. This is cold traffic. Your close rate is going to be 10% or 20% or whatever it is, right? If you don't tell the client that, guess what's going to happen? If you don't set that expectation, guess what happens? The client is going to get on phone calls. They're going to get on like 10, 20 phone calls, and they're going to go, your traffic, the leads you're sending me is shit. There's something wrong with your campaigns. The leads you're sending me are crap. Fix it. When in reality, they're only supposed to close 2 clients out of 20 anyways, right? Not 10. So now you're stuffed because you kind of look like you're making excuses if you turn around and go, oh, well, you're only going to close 10% of Facebook traffic. It makes you look like you're making excuses, like it's a cop-out, right? So setting those expectations from the get-go, so important. Can you guys see that? Can you see how this leads to one of the biggest reasons for churn in your agency, in your business as a freelancer, whatever it is? So another thing you want to look at is the desired results and the expectations. So one of the things that we have taken a stance on at the agency ourselves, and it's different for everyone, but for example, if a client comes to you and they want to make $2,000 a month, there's a problem here. They're not going to pay you $1,000 management fee, right? They're not going to pay you 50% of their revenue on management, and that excludes the advertising. So you really, really need to figure out in the early stages, like, what are they actually expecting out of this? And are those expectations even realistic, right? Making sure you're onboarding people that want scale, that want growth, that want results, because that's when you get yourself in a great situation. Setting expectations with clients so that when you first onboard, they understand the first month or maybe the first 2 months. Don't expect anything. expect that we're trying to validate Facebook ads for your business. So we're going to spend money. And as Tom likes to say, we're getting data. We're buying data with that so that you can see how to actually really successfully leverage this platform. So do they have a funnel? Do they have the back end abilities to service those leads or those sales that you're sending their way? What expectations do they have? So what is their desired CPA that they want? And also checking the user experience is really, really important as well. So what is the flow of that user experience as well? Have they validated that funnel as well? Now check their Facebook ad account. Check it. It's so important. What you'll find is most people that said they do don't even have a pixel in place. That's a problem, right? So they've essentially got an unvalidated funnel. And so for you, if you're going to onboard that type of client, it's very important that from the get-go, you set the right expectations. First, we're building the funnel. Don't expect anything. And then after that, we will send you some buyers or some leads or whatever that may be, okay? Make sure this stuff is in your contract. This is, I'm not giving you legal advice here. I'm not a lawyer, just a bit of a disclaimer, another disclaimer. But please make sure that you cover yourself in your contract, that it clearly says, what that you're not making any promises, that the payment is not dependent on a certain KPI or anything like that. How much have I missed? Everything. How can they validate the funnel before they start Facebook ads? Well, yeah, you validate the funnel with Facebook ads, right? How can they validate it? They can try to do it themselves. But if they're not really a Facebook marketer, I would advise them that they're probably going to be taking the long road doing that themselves. Yeah, that's where you come in. So that's okay. You validate it for them. But during a validation process, what I'm getting at is you're not promising them anything. You're not saying, I'm going to get you 25 leads this month, or I'm going to get you a $20 CPA. If it's during the validation phase, protect yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be sweating bullets after 5 days and it's not the client's fault, right? The client thinks like, oh man, you've sold me into this thing where I'm going to be crushing it and doing really, really well. And now I'm only closing 10% of these calls and I'm only getting 20 and I thought I was going to get 100 and this is not what I thought it was. When in reality, that's actually really good. He's closing 10% and he's getting 20 leads. Amazing. But you set the wrong expectations. So the client has this totally distorted perception. One of the biggest reasons we have churn. So let me quickly ask you guys these. With setting expectations from the get-go, what is one thing that you think, for example, with realtors is really, really important to set? What is an expectation from, oh, you guys can't see my screen. You guys are looking at me. That's not good. So with realtors, what is one thing that you think is really, really, really important expectation to set from the get-go? You're looking at my nose. It's a nice view. Well, I can think of one really obvious thing. Yeah, follow your leads. Sales cycle. Jeff, ding, ding, ding. Michelle, absolutely. Yeah, these guys have long sales cycles. I think someone said 90 days was the average once, right? So 90-day sales cycle. So when you onboard a realtor, they should know this, but you have to repeat that to them. Do not expect a client from these ads for 90 days at the very minimum, right? At the very, very minimum. What about e-com? What do you think is an expectation that you need to set there? Let's say it's a brand new e-commerce store, has never ever run ads. What's an expectation that you think you need to set there? Yeah, Michael and Bella are good with realtors, actually. So with e-commerce, what is an important part of e-commerce? Like what's a really, really important part of e-commerce that will crush your campaigns? Conversion rates of their website, right? It's something that's slightly out of your control as well. But if their website sucks, this is what Megan was covering in Hawaii with being traffic ready, right? And she crushed it. Like if their websites are not mobile optimized, guess what? It doesn't, or if their websites are not optimized, period, it doesn't matter how amazing your Facebook ad campaign is going to be. You're basically pouring, as Megan did, pouring water on the carpet. You've got a sieve and you're not containing any of that traffic you're sending their way. So making sure you set the expectation that, hey, we're going to send traffic here, but honestly, let's see what your website converts at. This is the purpose of why we're driving traffic for now, is to check out, what your website does and how it converts. And then from there, we can quickly identify, what bottlenecks are possibly having. It's really, really important that they know that. Again, if you don't have these conversations with them, and then, you wait till after everything's gone to shit and the campaigns, and they're knocking on your door and they're emailing you going, why? It looks like a cop-out. It feels like a cop-out. Like, oh, well, your website. And then they go, yeah, you never told me this, or it just feels like excuses. Abandoned cart. Yeah, user experience. What about a plumber? What about a plumber? I know not many of us are going to work with plumbers, but what do you think about a plumber? What would be an expectation that you want to be very clear with your plumber with? So this is a lead gen campaign, right? This is going to be a lead generation campaign. What do you guys think? Supply chain, yes, yeah. Timeliness, follow through, yes. Shitty situations. Good to see the maturity level in this group. It's not too high. Lauren, Casey. Yeah, they need to follow up their leads. You're not going to do it for them. So, hey, I'm going to send you some leads. You realize I'm not the one who's going to be calling them. Is that clear? And then also setting that sales conversion expectation, right? This is cold traffic, and it's probably only going to convert at 10%, depending on how good you are with sales and how quickly you follow them up. Yeah? Setting those expectations, super, super important. Okay. Second part of this system for your business is time. This is one of the biggest reasons, as well as setting and auditing and onboarding the right clients, is time. So pricing yourself properly plays into this massively. Why? Well, the way you price yourself is the difference between having 7 clients on your books and 24 clients on your books. And I don't care how good of a Facebook marketer you are. You could be even Tom, even John Loomer, like the best guys out there in the industry. If you have way too many clients on your books, you're going to drop the ball, plain and simple, right? So the way you price yourself affects your time and your ability to service those accounts. I hope that makes sense. So let's do a calculation. Everyone get out a pen or a notepad or something like that. And I want you to write down how many clients you have. So how many clients do you have at the moment? Yeah? And then I want you to write down the number of hours that you work on average per month. So do you normally work 40-hour weeks? So 160 hours a month? Do you normally work 60-hour weeks? How many hours do you say that you normally work a month? If you've got a team, if you've got people working for you, make sure that you calculate all of their hours in this as well, right? 16 clients, 240 hours a month. Well, that's clearly with some help, right, Anika? I would hope. So next, I want you to jot down, what is the revenue, the total revenue that you bring in every month? $50 to $60 a week. Was that a week, Tarinia? Wow. So how much revenue do you bring in per month? Now I want you to divide that revenue by the total hours that you calculated. So make sure if you've got a team that you're combining all of their hours as well. Okay? What is that number? Divide your total revenue by the total hours worked per month. What is that number that you're getting? This is going to be a bit confronting for some of you, actually, because you probably have never done this before. You've probably never worked this out, eh? Except if you were in Hawaii. Just saying. Yeah. Subliminal messaging with my photographs here. So tell me, what is that number that you're getting? Kathy? Crickets. Everyone's scared. No, I want numbers. I don't want too low. I don't want crickets. I want what? I want numbers. Share numbers. Come on, guys. Don't be scared. I'm not going to bite your head off. $980. $4,600. Yeah, cool. So this is essentially your hourly rate. 75, 150. Good. You know, I'm actually really excited to see some of the higher numbers in there. So this is essentially your hourly rate. Now, if you're a freelancer, we're not talking about someone with a team here, but if you're a freelancer, your minimum rate should be $70 an hour. If you're trying to build a team, or if you have a team, it's a totally different figure. But as a freelancer, your minimum should be $70 per hour. Does learning count? 91. Well, Michelle, yours needs to be a lot higher because you're building an agency. So $70 per hour as a freelancer. Can you see that? Can you see why you would want that? So if you're trying to do $15,000 in revenue per month, which would be 160 hours, which would be a 40-hour work week. So if you're trying to just work the normal work weeks, which would be 15K at this rate, means that you can possibly walk away with 10K, right? Because you're going to have expenses and all of that other stuff, right? And you don't want to necessarily bank everything, taxes, etc. If you charge yourself at $40 an hour to make the same amount of money, so to walk away with a $10,000 a month salary, which I think nowadays, $10,000, yes, it's a lot of money for a lot of people. And if you're just cutting into the industry, it feels like that big stretch goal, like, yeah, I want to make 10K a month. But the reality is, like, pretty much every Facebook freelancer should be hitting 10K a month, right? And to hit that, and the reality is at 10K, you're living a normal middle class salary, right? Because after taxes and after your mortgage and all of that stuff, right? It's not like you're driving Lamborghinis at that salary. So to live a normal, like, decent life where you can go on holiday, pay your mortgage, have your expenses covered, you need to charge $70 an hour as a freelancer. If you're charging 40, you are going to have to take on 24 clients. You're going to have to work like 300 hours in the month, and you're going to drop the ball. You simply will not have enough time to account manage your clients, to service them, and to make sure that they're getting the stuff that you promised them, right? That they're, for example, if a campaign is not working, that you're going in there and updating the creative. Can you guys see that? Super, super important. Well, yeah, Ryan, if you have staff that you're not, $70 an hour is not where you need to be at all, right? This is a freelancer rate, just FYI, guys. This is absolutely not if you're an agency owner or if you're trying to build an agency. This will be way too low. You'll go out of business really fast. Ooh, look at this. Little N got lost there. So on to the last step of your business, or reducing the churn burn, essentially. This is the part where you increase your expertise as a Facebook marketer. Actually, every single one of those things I showed you, auditing, setting the expectations, and your time, so protecting your time through pricing, will inadvertently increase your expertise as a Facebook marketer. One, because you're showing clients that you're doing your due diligence and you're building trust, which means you can charge higher prices. And then two, you have time to actually stay on top of stuff and deliver the results that people are after, and the rollouts, the new things happening. Facebook was down the other day. Yesterday, the ads manager was all over the place. It was really buggy. So staying on top of everything, understanding if links are getting dropped, you know, these things take time. So all of the other stuff have really big bearing, but no pun intended, bear. But this is something that we came across in Hawaii. So this is really cool. Have you guys heard of the bear? Mark has heard of it. Implementation. Bear. This is the Facebook algorithm. Well, what we're allowed to know about it anyways, right? So bear essentially stands for bidding, expected actions, relevance, and quality. When you are putting an ad out on Facebook, when you put an ad out on Facebook, you essentially go into an auction process. So the people that you are trying to target, and there's billions of these auctions that take place in a single day, the people that you are trying to target, when they are available to be reached by your ad, essentially you go into an auction process against other bidders, other people that are vying for that person's attention or real estate, the news feed. And there's a couple things that go into this auction process that will determine if your ads get shown and how much it costs you as well, and the results that you get from the campaigns that you're running. So this is really the heart of Facebook, and this is something we covered in depth just recently in Hawaii. This is stuff that you will really, really, really not really hear about anywhere else, guys. So, but so important. So important. So, big bad bear. Yeah, this is, yeah, exactly like that, guys. So bidding, expected actions, and then relevance and quality. So let's go through each one of them. So bidding, who of you guys know what I'm talking about here? So the three things that go into that process is how high your bid is, how much you're willing to spend to reach that individual, what Facebook deems to be the expected action from for whatever you're optimizing for, and the relevance and the quality of the creative, the landing page, everything that's going into that campaign. Bidding is a very important part. So it's one of the parts that goes into that auction process, and it's really important to understand. Why? Because when you have campaigns that stall, or when you have campaigns that are not giving you great results, if you understand the three things that are going into that auction process, you can manipulate them, or you can leverage them, change them, tweak them, manipulate them essentially to try and improve the results you're getting for your clients. Understanding these 3 things is so key to being a kick-ass Facebook marketer. Bidding, how much you're willing to spend. Now, most of you guys, when you launch campaigns on Facebook, it's set to automatic bid, right? So Facebook will automatically determine how much you should be spending. Now, one of the things that you can do here, and I'm going to show you this in a moment. This is actually a really cool hack that Tom just showed us recently. But one of the cool things that you can do here is you can actually look at the data Facebook is telling you from your campaign, and you can make tweaks or a call on whether or not to include manual bids. So typically, if you have a campaign where the CPA, so the cost per result or the cost per action, is not really what you're after, one of the ways that you can try to improve this is to outbid your competitors in the auction process. So normally, let's say, for example, somebody give me a campaign that you're running right now. No one. Okay. So let me think of one off the top of my head. Let's say this came up yesterday. Someone was selling essential oils. So let's say you're selling essential oils as e-commerce to a client. And the client needs to get cost per sale, so a cost per acquisition of $10 because the essential oils are selling for 40 or 30 or whatever it is, right? So the desired cost per conversion is $10. Now, if your campaign is costing you $15 or $20, well, and based on who you're targeting, you can basically look at the 3 elements that go into that auction process and tweak them and manipulate them, right? And make a decision on how can I try to outcompete the bidders in this auction process. And one of the ways, just one of the ways, is bidding. So increasing your manual bid. Now, if your relevance and the quality is really bad, so let's say you have broken links, or let's say you're selling essential oils in your ad, but it's sending them to a landing page that's selling trumpets. I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Your relevance is going to be really, really bad, and that's going to really, really affect the overall auction process. And so it doesn't matter really how much you bid for it, right? You're still going to get really shitty results. So understanding that you still need to ideally have all 3 of them aligned, right? So how many people are essentially going to be seeing your ads and outbidding? So using the manual bid is a really effective strategy, especially if you're not quite getting the results that you want from those campaigns. Has anyone done this before? Yoga, lots of yoga. Okay. Expected results. So this is based on data that Facebook assesses to determine what is the expected action. So that should say expected actions, not results. Expected actions of that person. Let's say you're optimizing for video views or lead or standard event. It could be complete registrations. And that is based on data that the Pixel has, and also data based on the people that you're targeting. So for example, let's just use this as an example, subliminal messaging here. Let's say you are about to go to Fiji and you are looking at hotels in Fiji. Well, if someone was advertising and targeting people with the interests of Fiji, obviously someone who has just talked about Fiji in Facebook or in their emails or anything like that Facebook can pick up, Facebook is going to know is someone that's about to book a trip or someone that is very high quality, right? Versus someone that just sort of single-handed. The actions that the target audience has taken goes into this as well. So Facebook knows a lot about us. It knows what we're about to do. It knows not what we're thinking about, but half the time I think it does. And that goes into that as well, right? So the expected actions is a really big part of the algorithm. I'll show you this in a minute. And then the relevance and the quality. So checking the negative feedback that you have on your ads, how relevant is the targeting to the creative and vice versa? And then also the quality. The quality can include things like your landing page, if you're collecting emails, if you're collecting information. Do you have a privacy policy on that page? If not, Facebook is gonna not like your stuff. How long does it take your page to load? Just like I mentioned before, if you're selling essential oils, are you sending them to a landing page about trumpets? Totally irrelevant. If this is out of whack, the rest of the other three will also be out of whack, right? So it doesn't, as I said, it doesn't matter how much you increase your manual bid. If your relevance or your quality is really crap, it doesn't really matter. So has anyone used this debugger tool? This is one of the things that Megan shared in Hawaii. So essentially, one of the tools that you can use, do you guys want me to share the link for that? I'll share it later. I'll share the link in the comments below because I'm scared I'm going to break this thing. I'll share the link in the comments below later on. And essentially, you guys are just talking about Fiji. Essentially, what you do here is you just plug in your URL, and Facebook is going to tell you if there's anything about that landing page it doesn't like, right? And you may be surprised. Making sure that Facebook is happy is really important. So I'm going to share that link with you guys. I encourage you to use that with all of the links that you use in your ads. Relevance, quality, estimated actions, expected actions, bidding. Super, super important. So let's here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go and, is this my face now or my screen? Nice. Okay, cool. So I'm going to take you in here. Thank you, Michael. Michael just shared it. Okay, cool. So I'm going to share this screen here, and I'll show you what we're talking about here. Sorry, I'm just going into an ad account. And bear with me for a moment. So this is a really cool hack that Tom shared. Michael, I know you don't like the word hack. I like it. The group is called Ad Hacks. Gotta like it. It's the rules. Where am I going? Okay, cool. Everyone can see that? Cool. So essentially what we can do here is we can look at this graph. Have you guys seen this? Estimated daily results. And it also tells you here as well. Right? And one of the things that Facebook will show you is, okay, so if you're spending $88 per day, so here it is right here, you should be getting 7 conversions. So whatever that is. So we're optimizing here for complete registration. So at $88, we should be getting 7 conversions. If we go up to 230, we should be getting 17, on and on. One of the things you want to watch out for here, and FYI guys, this is still something they're sort of testing, so your graph might look a little bit different. You may not even have a graph, also if you don't have enough data, but it doesn't always show up for every ad set. But when you get them, what you want to look out for is a really nice 36-degree slope here. So you want to make sure it's a nice 36-degree slope. If it's flattened out like this, essentially it means that the more money you spend, the higher your cost per conversion or your cost per action is going to be. So it's essentially, it's not a very scalable audience that you have, right? So what we're looking for is a nice slope here. Now what you'll see here is that at $88, I should be doing 7 conversions. So oh, okay. I'm not sharing my screen. Can you guys see this here? Disclaimer. I did tell you at the beginning. Can you guys see that? I did say it. I said it. I said, bear with me. This is going to be painful, the IT shit here. Yeah? I love how it was like, I wish there was like talk back in here so you guys could be like, cat, because I wasn't paying attention. Can I repeat all of that? Yes, I will. Tom is like, I messaged Tom yesterday. I was like, you're going to be doing damage control after this. Okay, so if this is the graph, does this make more sense, guys? More than the presentation. Okay, cool. So essentially, this is the graph here. And as I sort of mentioned, guys, not every ad set, this is at the ad set level. Not every ad set is going to have this. And also, it may look slightly different for you because it's still something Facebook is testing out. So what you want to see, though, what I was saying to myself on the other thing, is that you want a nice slope like this. So this is a beautiful little slope here, about 36-degree slope, right? If you have a flat line, or if it's sort of a lot less, it's not as steep, essentially what that means is Facebook is estimating that the more you spend, the more budget you spend, the higher your cost per conversion, the higher your cost per acquisition will be, which means you don't really have a very scalable campaign at all, right? So you need to look at your audience in that case. But one of the things that you can do here is, this is really cool. So you go, okay, and this is disclaimer, this is what Tom showed me. So this is all from his brain. But you can spend $88 in a budget, a day, sorry. And Facebook is saying you should be getting 7 conversions. If I scroll up here, I will see that conversion is a complete registration in this case. So I can go in here and let me pull this up. Daily yesterday. We'll do yesterday. And you'll see here, I spent $88 and I got 14. Woo, woo, perfect, right? And you can do this. So let's go here because this one's actually not that great. Okay, this is a perfect example. So this one's actually doing really, really well. But then we go in here according to expected actions, right? Expected results, sorry. So then we go in here and we go, okay, we're getting 2 registrations for $20. Good old Tim Ferriss. Let's see what he's up to. And it's going to be really buggy with me now. Not letting me scroll. Let me go back in here. Yesterday, Ads Manager was on fire. Woo. So this one is still doing complete registration, $38 a day. But what you'll see here is Facebook is saying, actually, you should be getting 6, not 2. So I'm getting 2, but Facebook is saying that should be 6. And the slope here is beautiful as well, right? If I spend $134, it's 13. It's going up and up and up. This is actually a very steep slope. So there's a problem here. So what I can do based on this is I can look at 2 things, right? I can look at my bidding. So how much I'm bidding, and it's set to automatic. So I could go down here and I could change my bid. So suggested bid, you don't want that to ever be lower than the suggested bid. I have this thing that if you've ever worked with me, you'll know I do this where I go like really, really high, like sometimes like 500. You might do, say, $100 or even $50. You just want to be higher than the suggested bid. And that's part of the algorithm, right? In the auction process, outbidding. Someone else is outbidding you. And the other thing that we can look at here is our relevance, our quality. So the creative that we're running, as well as how relevant our ad is to our audience. So one of the things that we can do is, don't save. We'll go in here later, is look at our relevance score. And you'll see here, guys, it's 4. So right off the bat, you can see that's probably one of the things that you can address, right? making sure that your ad is more relevant to the audience that it's being shown to. So possibly that involves warming up your audience a little bit more before showing them this creative. Possibly it involves tweaking the copy or the creative. So for example, yesterday we were editing a campaign and it was targeting people in San Fran, and the ad creative wasn't saying anything about San Fran. Well, one way to increase the relevance to the audience that you're targeting is to say San Fran in the ad copy, right? Hey, are you in San Fran? That increases relevance. That's one way to do that as well. Another thing that you guys, I'm just going to bring this up here to show you. So here's how you bring up reporting, right? So you know how to do this, customize columns, is checking your positive and negative feedback. So this one has high negative feedback and medium positive feedback. Something to be aware of here as well, right? So you want to be careful of that. If this was low, this can sometimes lead to campaigns being shut down or stalling. And also it can lead, what we saw recently was ad accounts being shut down as well. So you want to keep an eye on that as well and make sure that if you've got high negative feedback, that possibly you're tweaking your targeting or warming up your audience a little bit more, or refining your targeting, or making the creative a bit more relevant to them. And also making sure that you are balancing out with positive feedback, right? So if you have high, you don't even worry about that. Positive feedback at medium and negative feedback, it's something that you should be improving upon. But if this was low, you would definitely be really concerned, right? Because that's one of the triggers that potentially will stop your account, if not even possibly shut the account down. So you guys got to remember, Facebook is trying to do two things, right? It's trying to, one, make sure that it protects the user experience. So it's looking after Facebook users. It wants to make sure that the experience of being on Facebook is a valuable one and that it's relevant for people and it's quality. And the second part that it's trying to balance out is its advertisers. It's advertisers that are trying to be like, hey, buy for me, buy for me, buy for me. So it's really trying to protect that user experience, and it's telling you in the stats, in the data, why a campaign isn't performing. It's really important that you understand the auction process and what goes into that so that you can start to manipulate those and also optimize accordingly, right? So now I'm looking at this and I can say, well, I'm getting two completed registrations for $20. If you didn't know about Bear and if you didn't know how to interpret these stats, you probably would be shutting down this ad set and trying out a brand new one or switching things randomly, right? So looking at the data properly, you can go, well, one of the problems with this ad set is my relevance is really low. This is what I can start to focus on. Now, a bit of a disclaimer here. This is my last disclaimer of this training. When you are running campaigns, so I'm giving you these tools, I'm giving you this information. One of the things that I always tell Academy students or any training that we have is that when you are running campaigns, the ultimate figure that you should really care about is the cost per lead or the cost per action that you're wanting to generate, right? That's it, that's all. If you're getting really, really good results, you don't really care about this too much, okay? So we have seen campaigns with relevant scores of really, really high relevant scores that do really well, and vice versa. So ultimately, only look at the end figure. But in this situation, I might decide that $20 for someone opting in is way too expensive. So then I go and look at the data and I understand that part of the algorithm and I go, how can I manipulate this to my advantage so that I can bring this down to $5 or $6, whatever Facebook was telling me I should be doing, which it tells you, right? So 6 conversions for $38. So this is part of using the Bear algorithm. I'm gonna just share this. So pretty cool, guys, eh? Right? Are you guys excited? Do you guys want more? Cricket. I'm just going to put it down to the lag. Feel like I've got two faces in two places. Exciting stuff, guys, right? Yeah. Pretty cool. If you understand okay, so those first three things, really, really important. I don't think I could have shown you how to reduce churn without first talking to you about your pricing and also the onboarding process, right? The expectations, because those are two of the biggest culprits for churn. And yes, implementation is another big reason for churn, but it wouldn't have been fair for me to say, hey, here's how to reduce churn without talking about those things first. So now you have a better understanding as a business, really understanding like, hey, you need to bring clients on with the right expectations and talk to them honestly. Don't be afraid that you're going to lose the sale if you're telling them you have to call these leads yourself or you're only going to close 10%. You're going to lose the client if you don't tell them that. That's really important. And then the second thing is pricing yourself. And then the third thing, understanding how Facebook really works. The stuff that I just showed you here, you guys now have a much better, solid understanding or foundation of the principles or of how Facebook's algorithm actually works. This is stuff that even a lot of Facebook gurus don't even know, right? So you guys are miles ahead just knowing this. If you understand bidding, expected actions, relevance, and quality, you can tweak and you can manipulate your campaigns to ensure that you're getting the results so that it doesn't feel like you're constantly just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. Or when a campaign doesn't work, you're not going there, I don't know why it's not working, let's just roll out a whole bunch of other stuff. But here's the thing, guys. What I've covered today is literally the tip of the iceberg. Can you see that? Can you see how there's a lot of things that still go behind auditing and onboarding, a lot of things that go behind pricing, and especially in the implementation side. So for example, your pixel. In this example, you saw me optimizing for complete registration. That's a big deal. What you decide to optimize for is a massive deal, especially since the changes that Facebook just rolled out. Other things like that will make your life a lot easier, such as naming conventions and how you onboard those clients. Is it through their ad account? Is it through your ad account, their business manager, the creative, the direct response? How do you make ads more relevant? How do you actually check to see if it's the targeting or if it is the creative that's not working? And also funnels. Funnels are a massive, massive part of it. So in fact, funnels are pretty much what you're trying to do or manipulate with that algorithm, right? You're trying to build quality and relevance and build audiences that are more likely to perform actions, right? So that's what funnels are. And the reality is that every different industry out there is going to need its own funnel. And there's never, especially with some types of clients out there like e-commerce, there's all sorts of different quirks with it involved. Can you see that? Can you see that there's still a lot involved? So guys, this is essentially what FATC is. So this is a program that I've been running for a while now. And I know there's some FATC. Oh, Tom said he's proud. He's going to message me later. Like so where's my FATC crew here? So this is essentially what FATC is about, where we build that solid understanding. And I'm going to show you quickly something I'm really freaking damn proud of. Let me remember to share my screen this time so you're not looking up my nose. I can probably safely say this is the most interesting IT training you've ever had, right? It started out with elevator music and then looking up my nose. Cool. So guys, this is something I'm really, really proud of. So this is FATC, and you'll see here it's the foundations. If you're in a situation where, hands up, if you learned two things in this training today, if there was like two things where you were like, aha, Give me a holler. So hands up if you learned 2 things today. If there's 2 things, like 2 nuggets where you were like, yep, this is cool. I didn't know that. Awesome. This is the tip of the iceberg. So FATC is really to build up that foundation, to get you really, really solid in terms of running campaigns for clients, feeling really, really confident. The implementation side, right? And also onboarding as well. So what you're onboarding them as, how you onboard them. So this is the back end of FATC, as you can see. I'm giving you a bit of a sneak peek. So make sure you go to fatc.cathowell.com. Today only, we've got a call coming up where you're going to actually see me troubleshooting live campaigns. You're going to get to see that stuff in action. If you picked up even one thing from today, you need to be in there. Now, for those of you who have sort of picked up on me saying academy here and there, and you're like, ooh, I'm actually more interested in building an agency, in building a team, in learning more about the pricing and all of that. And if you have a solid understanding of Facebook ads, the academy is the place that you want to be. So if that's you, if you're in those shoes, you need to go to 8loopsocial.com/apply and lock in a strategy call with the team to see not only for you if we can help you, but also from us if we feel like we're not going to take you on if we don't feel like we can help you really. So 8loopsocial.com/apply. The academy is more around building a team, building an agency. I show you how to build client funnels that land clients. I show you how to onboard those clients at a really high rate. I show you how to build your team and how to essentially build a business you can step away from. A disclaimer here, you have to have an understanding of Facebook ads. If you don't have that, start with FATC. I cannot show you how to land high-paying clients if you don't have that understanding. Not only that, it's going to be very, very hard for you to manage the human resource. So if you don't know much about Facebook ads and you start tapping into contractors or you start hiring a team, how are you going to manage them? How are you going to know if they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing? How are you going to know if they're setting the right expectations or mucking things up, right? You don't need to be an expert. Like you don't need to be John Loomer, but you still need a solid understanding. So if you're brand new and you want to build an agency and you don't have a Facebook ads, anything like Facebook ads is like, whoa, start with FATC. So fatc.cathowell.com. If you have that base knowledge and you want to build a team, 8loopsocial.com/apply. I'll put those links in later. And for those of you that are wanting to be part of that membership program and also want to join FATC before we start phasing out those calls, get in today, guys, 797, today only, fatc.cathowell.com. And we've got a call in a couple hours. Regardless if I do or don't, which is totally freaking cool, I wish you all the freaking best and success in your business. I really hope that you learned something from today and that you have a much better understanding of Facebook and how to leverage it for your clients and in your own business. And I really, really, really appreciate that you stuck with me through those IT problems. So thank you so much, guys. I'm going to call today a wrap because I'm losing my voice at this stage. And I'm really, really excited to see you guys in there, okay? All right. How do I end this thing? Yeah. Stop sharing. Cool.